Welcome to episode 6 of BCC Talks. I am your host, Bianca Clark. During the Fall Fest, we had a chance to talk to CJ Jenkins, who is an early college student here at BCC. CJ is also a champion junior dragster driver. But before we get started, these are the following announcements. Traditional students who register before November the 30th has a chance to win $1,000 in bookstore credit. Also, the course schedule for continuing education is now available for the 2023 school year. Also, there's 50% off for employees at the aesthetic salon on campus. Services include a facial, brow tint, also eyebrow waxing, and also underarm waxing. And now more with CJ.
So I'm CJ Jenkins. I'm the driver of the Executor. Right now I'm at Beaufort County Community College, putting my car on display at the Fall Festival. I've been racing junior dragsters now for about 5 years. That's what this is. This is a junior dragster. This car right here is a 2022 Mike Boss. It runs off of alcohol methane. This has a Crawls Racing ZR4, which is a 1-cylinder, 3.5 piston. It's, like I said, the car is fairly newer. Right now, we race all up and down the East Coast we've been this year from Norwalk, Ohio to Gainesville, Florida. We plan to go to Mississippi in sometime around Christmas, so we'll spend Christmas up in Mississippi at a race. With this type of racing, we have a lot of safety requirements, so I have to wear a full suit, full helmet. I actually have this head sock that I have to put over my face for it. I have to put this on my back to kind of restrain my head from going forward if something were to happen. Put my hands in these in case if the car were to roll over, I don't put my hands up here and lose fingers or something. And it has a lot of other neat features in it. Like over here, I have a parachute just in case I need to stop. Mainly it's for looks though. Over here, we have, on this side and this side, we have 2 kill switches, so if something were to go wrong in the car, I can just shut the car off easily and I have a backup just in case the main one doesn't work. And in here, I have a lot of different switches. Some of them are important, some of them are just for show. So right here, I have headlights. In the daytime, you can't really see them. But over here, I have a fan. And this also shows me a temperature of the back of the car. It helps me stay in tune with my crew chief. It makes his job a little bit easier. And right here, we have interior lights. So at nighttime, I can strap in without any confusion or getting my stuff mixed up, and it helps me stay calm better. That's also what the fan does, because on hot days, it messes up your brain. So on hot days, I kind of use the fan to relax myself. And actually on the car, it's a little bit of a story behind it. So here you see, I'm gonna step over here. Here we have the Executor. If you really look, he's cutting down a tree. So on the drag strip, we have a tree that looks something like this. It has 8 stage bulbs on it, which are my side, 4 on my side, 4 on the other side. When I go up, I'll knock on two sets of bulbs, and then he'll knock on 2 sets of bulbs, and then I'll knock on my second set of bulbs, and then he'll knock on the second set of bulbs. And then that lets the starter know that we're both ready. We're both ready to go down the track. And so before this car, I had a Batman car. And with the Batman car, a lot of people were telling me that I was cutting down the tree, which is a reference in drag racing that means you're doing really good. And so down here we have the Grim Reaper cutting a tree, and down along the car we have trees that he's already gotten to, and right here we have a tree that he hasn't gotten to yet. And so this is the motor for this car. I know it doesn't look like your average motor, but it runs off of alcohol methane, and it's a high revving motor. I think this car leaves at 5,200 RPM, so 5,200 rotations per minute. And honestly, the motor isn't the thing that keeps this car running. What keeps this car running is these names that are on the side of the car. These guys, these names help me get to where I need to go, help me be safer, and it makes the job a little bit less stressful for me and my team. And so that is majority of the car. This right here, we have clutches. This belt right here would sit inside these 2 clutches, and as the motor is turning, this clutch right here turns, and when it gets to a certain RPM, it will push back, hit this belt, and then it makes the whole car go. So, and that is pretty much how this junior dragster works. So I am 14 years old. I'm enrolled at the Beaufort County Community Early College, and so I go to school right here. In a way, I'm on the road a lot, so the way that I try to balance my school life and my racing life is when I'm doing schoolwork, I try not to think about my racing life. When I'm doing racing, I try not to think about my school life. So when I'm at the track and I'm doing work, I think about nothing else that's going on around me. I just try to get my work done that's at hand. And when I'm racing, I think about nothing else. There's nothing else around me but me and this car. Me and this car and whoever's beside me. So I really try to separate those stress-wise, work-wise, but I do like to tell other people about the sport while I'm not racing. I like to tell people about the sport, and while I'm racing, I'll tell people what school I go to because it does interest them a lot. So that is one way I handle it. So this car right here goes 84 miles per hour in an eighth of a mile, which is 660 feet, which is, and also, it also goes 790, which is 7.9 seconds in an eighth of a mile. So it is pretty quick. In this car, it's just me and my crew chief. When I'm in here, I listen to what he says, I trust him a lot, and that usually gets me to where I am today with the amount of wins and success that I have. When I'm in this car, I don't really feel a lot of emotions. I just have one direct task, and I'm just looking over at the person beside me because in bracket racing, you have to run within a certain time. You cannot go faster than your estimated time or you will lose. So if there's a large gap between you and your opponent, you try to lose momentum some way, still stay in front of them, but try to lose momentum so that you can scrub off some time. And that usually works. Sometimes it doesn't, but it is what it is. In this car, like I said, I don't have a lot of emotion. It's just one straightforward task, and usually I can get it done. Usually it's not a whole lot of stress involved. But if there is, I usually go up there before I get ready to race. I take a large deep breath, exhale, and I go in, and then everything's fine after that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I have the success that I have today.
We appreciate CJ taking the time to talk with us. Also, again, don't forget to register for classes. They begin in January.